Hey everyone, welcome to your waxing crescent moon in Taurus reading. So our moon is going to be with us from April 2nd to April 5th. Wow, lots of energies coming through, but I do want to tell you that first of all, the energies seem very simple. Now, Taurus isn't a simple energy, but in a sense, it feels very simple. And I can kind of feel that here. But there's a little bit of a deceptive energy here in the sense that it seems simple, but there are some complexities at work. Much like how a clock seems simple, but then when you open it, you see all of the little cogs going on inside of it. All right. So if you'd like to have a personal reading with me or have an energy healing session with me via Zoom, please go ahead and check my link to Etsy. If you haven't checked out the April 2022 reading, please go ahead and check that out now. And the guides have been asking me to repost the December 2021 reading, which I've already done. So go ahead and check that out. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, as I said that, it was like 1 minute and 11 seconds. So in the month of Taurus now, during this moon and Taurus energy, some of you may be actually feeling a little bit disconnected or rather untethered from maybe a source of comfort or a source of family or some type of connection. We see here the family connection card reversed. So some of you may actually feel distant from your friendships. We have the Hermit card here as well. But I do want to let you know that the whole reason that you're doing that, Eight of Pentacles, is because you are going through a kind of like a cleaning session. So it's very temporary. I don't know why I heard 3 months. That's not temporary in my mind, but I don't know why I heard 3 months. That's for some people. But it's temporary. Oh, weirdly, I heard... Oh, it's gone already. Oh, no, I heard 4 hours for somebody, so that might be a very interesting moment. Would you get stuck on a ferry in the middle in the middle of the water? I don't know. April, May, June. Okay, so either way, and yeah, I'm also hearing in June. So in June, all right, let's talk about this. Okay, let's call this period a little bit of a pruning season. Now I know that we're just looking at the moon and that this particular moon is going to be around for 4 days. But you have to remember that these energies that are coming through at this time could very well remain with you or remain in the air for quite some time or in the atmosphere for quite some time, or it can start changes or induce changes in you or induce a process within you, within your energy field that takes time. So that's what I mean when we're hearing these time projections. But it really is going to depend on who you are. I'm just getting the number 28 for somebody, so that's going to mean something. I'm not sure why. But I am getting that for some of you, this temporary separation is going to be all about pruning. It is purely so that you can be in your space and so that you can prune out some things that you don't need anymore. But I'm getting for somebody in part, they keep saying 3 months, okay? For somebody in particular, after this pruning season, I feel a little bit like you won't want to get back with whoever this is or whatever this is. If it's a job and you're taking a hiatus, if you're moving temporarily, you may not want to move back, or there's something going on, and I'm just feeling a little bit of variety because there are various kinds of people watching, so the outcome of this is going to be different. But that being said, I'm just feeling whatever it is, it's very necessary. It's a necessary situation. So let me go ahead and put some cards. I think recently, I can't remember which actual reading it was, but the guides did talk about separation. So if that sounds interesting to you, if this is resonating and you want to follow up, go ahead and check out whichever recent reading came through about separation. But either way, April is the month of atonement, so it makes sense that you would need to have some type of time to yourself. Yeah, there's a Four of Swords. Getting it. I just want to take this back. Yeah, because you know, the outcome isn't set yet. That's why. That's why I'm feeling it's so open-ended about what's going to happen after this time. Because I put the King of Cups here, but then I almost was like, oh no, let me take it back. So we're just going to put this King of Cups there, but we're going to know that it's a bit of a placeholder. It's really going to depend on what remains after you're done. Speaking of, look at the bottom, we have the Ten of Wands. So you are going to be releasing things, releasing burdens, cutting stuff out. Again, pruning. And it's totally in theme for the month of April, because the month of April is all about atoning, which means getting quiet with yourself, looking at your grief, your shame, your resentments, your regrets. All that stuff is going to be coming up, and you're going to be basically parsing through it, feeling your feelings, doing the release work, and basically making any amends that are needed, whether you do it in the physical or the non-physical. Well, it's always going to happen in a non-physical. The question is, do you also do it in the physical? But for whatever it's worth, after that process is done, and I really do feel that it's going to be at least a month. April is total Four of Swords month, and here we have the Four of Swords. There we have the Hermit. It was out here earlier. So it's about looking at your pain. That's what we're doing in the month of April. And how it goes afterward is really going to be depending on you. In fact, look at this. Six of Swords, which is a victory card, but it's about slaying. Slaying what? All your old stuff. Getting rid of stuff, pruning. And that's why we have this King of Cups representing that thing that you're separating from here, but it's very iffy. Maybe you might go back, maybe not. But you're heading into this moon and into this month with these star energies, this star energy of healing along with the Six of Swords. So I'll tell you what, if you end this period of whatever this is, and you have decided not to go back to somebody or something, some situation, it wasn't supposed to be, right? It wasn't for you, because you're doing the pruning work now. And in fact, look at this energy off to the side. This is the Four of Pentacles. Look at you. You don't want to let go. And it makes sense, because think about April as this car wash time. You pull up with your car into the car wash. It's all dirty. You got to get rid of stuff, throw out your trash, vacuum it out, all of this, wax it. And then when you're done, then you have pretty much a brand new car. And that's what this is about. Let me go ahead and pull some of these cards. Yeah, I do feel that some of you may be feeling a little discombobulated in this month as well, because for some of you, it's not necessarily about separating for good. It's just about getting into hermit mode so that you can isolate these energies. Here I see, yeah, there's the card, contemplation. This is a time for you to contemplate, a time for you to reflect, a time for you to prune. Get pruny with it. Boop. Oh, look at that. Beautiful underlying energies. The sun, vitality. This is pure illumination. So this process is going to really bring you in touch with a lot of things that are hidden from you, by you, that you're hiding from yourself. But because it's also a month of atonement, you may also be given glimpses. Oh, no wonder I'm saying this. Look at this visionary card. You'll be getting glimpses into what other people are hiding from you. And your job is just to keep going forward. This isn't even about needing to stand up and say this and do that and advocate for yourself. This is not the time during this moon. This is the time to receive this input. Okay, yeah, I see Cherry. Cherry's, I just saw a little bit of Cherry's behavior and I'm not here for it, but this isn't the time to confront her about it. I'm just going to continue over the next month to really gather information, prune, reflect, and move through. In fact, look at the second card. I just said sex, so this is for somebody. What's going on, guys? This is the second card, breakthrough. So this is giving me a bit of hangman energies, in the sense that you're going to be a little bit stuck in time, if you will, but there's going to be a breakthrough that comes from that lack of dynamism, that reflection period. But in order to really get to this breakthrough, I do feel that you're going to have to go through your pain. Now, if you looked at the April 2022 reading, they definitely talked about how you're going to be feeling your stuff. So they listed grief, can't remember everything, but grief, remorse was another. Excuse me. Regret, guilt, shame. I feel like there might have been some more, but these low vibration energies that are just operating in the background and sometimes in the foreground, those are what you're going to be descending into. And in fact, here we have the Three of Swords, which is the heartbreak card, sitting right here. You can't see it, along with the Four of Swords. So this month and this time during this reading here, during this moon, is going to be all about you taking the time out to reflect, contemplate, and come up with a different plan. And you're going to be asked to release. So during this time, you're going to be feeling like you want to make amends, even if it's just to God. You know, give your confessions, surrender things. Why? So that you can empty out. Basically, when you empty out, you allow to receive. In fact, here we go. Look at this. This is so apropos. Look at you lost in the shadows of it. And as you empty out your shadows, guess what can come in, right? This star, this information, this new lease on life. And in fact, we see that here again. Here's a star. Okay? But you have to be able to drop into your shadows. Your pain. It's not even about the shadows. It's drop into the pain. Usually when we're feeling the shadows are those thoughts and those emotions we don't want to feel, you know. We don't want to own, like, oh yeah, I have this thought that I just wish that she would lose this position at her job, or she would, whatever. And that's a shadow energy. But if you look deeper, you realize the pain under there is the shame. Maybe this person saw something about you and you were so ashamed, so now you just wanted her to be gone and altogether, you know. Those kinds of things. This is not, you know, if you sit in the pain and you acknowledge, okay, I'm feeling shame about this, and you actually do your inner work. We see the star card again, another star on this deck coming in to show you it's okay. You can be vulnerable with God. You can be vulnerable with Spirit, your guides, your ancestors, your angels, right? That, you know, once you do that, once you journal it out, you look in your mirror, you own up to feeling this way, you might be surprised that you start to connect the dots. Like, oh, this was never about this person at work. It was about my connection with my sister when I was 8 years old, and, you know, whatever. And that's the beginning of being able to break apart this iceberg. I just suddenly got this idea that this iceberg, this glacier, is necessary. That symbol is necessary for somebody listening to kind of, they're using that for you to kind of realize, hey, we're talking to you. But very important is, in addition to agreeing to feel your pain that you've been disowning and therefore creating shadows about, is the fact that you're going to have to atone for it. And that means owning up to God, owning it, and pretty much surrendering and saying, yeah, I'm ready to do whatever is necessary to create balance in the field. And in so doing, you're actually unburdening yourself. You're unburdening yourself because the burden came from you not owning up, not wanting to admit. And so you see, this moon in Taurus is, it's gonna be real. So because the moon deals with our emotions, right? Deals with quite a few things, but one of the hallmarks of it is that it has to do with our emotions. And you know that because when the moon is out and it's full, it's doing stuff. It's doing stuff to you. That's why around all these these full moons and all your stuff is just like bleh, coming up. So what we do is when we look at these different moons, you know, the sign that the moon is in, we can, right now it's going to be in the sign of Taurus, you can kind of see what flavor that moon takes on. But it's still going to carry a very moonly energy. And so you're going to be dealing with emotions. And so because you see some of these things coming up, aka your pain, it would behoove you to really think, what is the best way to move forward? What's the best action to take? I would suggest, God bless, I would invite you during this Taurus moon to really focus on making yourself feel as comfortable as you can, having self-care, making sure that you have the support that you need, because you may actually find yourself being quote unquote put out in some way. Now I'm saying put out now because I just felt like a little bit of energy that some of you, this separation or this temporary pause in a connection may actually not be something you want. You may prefer, it may actually be initiated by someone else. Not for everybody, but for some of you. And some of you may actually just be light, like, oh, you know what? I just feel like hanging out by myself today. Can I take a rain check? And there's the energy. There's a separation. It's hermiting, right? But then for some of you, because maybe you're not listening or something, you may have to be pushed away by somebody. Don't take it personally. It's just that Spirit needs you to create this space for yourself so that the alchemizing can, I'm hearing continue. I was going to say begin, but they're saying continue because you've been on this path already. And so, you know, the advice is to make sure that you have your self-care principles to hand. You've got your warm blanket, or you've got your favorite food, or just whatever it is that you need. I'm hearing the name Molly for somebody. So Molly is going to be, oh, Molly. Oh, so you guys may already know that my buddy Emily from the One Woman Show on Instagram, she follows, oh gosh, I'm Molly. Oh, Emily, if you can, can you drop the name of who Molly is? She does moon stuff. I'm assuming that's the Molly guide the guides are saying. It could also be referring to a Molly that's related to somebody watching, right? But I'm blanking on her name, but Molly, and I'll ask Emily to put a note in the comments or something, but she's clearly being pointed to by God. I was going to say the guides, but clearly you guys know I'm channeling, so I'm not going to double guess what I'm saying. By God. Yes, thank you, to point the way. So do check for that link, or you may already know her. She does moon stuff amidst other stuff, I'm sure, because I think some of you could use some help with the moon release that she's going to be doing, or something. I see a lot of blocked energy here in the chakra spot. So thanks, Spirit. Thanks for that. Shout out. Go Molly. Anyway, so yes, so that's a great way to have self-care as well during this time. I feel a lot of you are going to be asking why, like through this pain that you're going through. A lot of father issues will be coming up, but I also want to let you know that a lot of father issues will be coming up and being undiagnosed. Some of you will be like, I'm feeling all this, but why? And you're thinking it's because of your ex or because whatever, but I have to let you know, father issues, regardless of what your gender is. Father issues. So, yeah. But just, so self-care. Also, be open to what's coming through. Feel the pain. Don't just try to numb it out. And that's why it's important to have a nice self-care routine, some way to self-regulate, or if you can find somebody that you can agree to go through this process with as a form of co-regulating, that's really great. The month of April is going to be a bit rough. Okay, so here we see this already in this moon in Taurus coming through. Also, refrain from making knee-jerk reactions. But as I said in the April 2022 reading, I feel that there's going to be such a dampening of the energy because of the stuff coming up, that some of you may actually feel like you don't have the energy to actually lash out. So that's a good thing, because we are in Aries, and Aries can carry a very impulsive energy, but it feels like it's being very dampened to a certain degree, although I do still feel this undercurrent of this energy, this sun energy, and this vitality and this dynamism. It's still in the mix, but so also they're saying watch your innocence during this time. So some of you, maybe out of obligation, or maybe out of, I don't know, feeling like you're obligated, you may expose yourself to things that you don't need to be exposed to. This could be as simple as I heard money. I'm also hearing it could be as simple as music. You know, music has a way that it can incite things in people, right? It creates, just as it can soothe the savage beast, it can actually induce the beast, right? So just be mindful a lot of what you're surrounding yourself with, because you're going to be, if this reading is for you, you're going to be in a very tender state. So just be a little mindful about that, okay? What else? Oh, they said goddess cards. Okay, we've got some goddess cards coming right up. Okay. This is the Goddess Power Oracle deck by Colette Baron-Reid, one of the OGs when it comes to oracle cards. Yeah, she's really great. Thanks, Colette, wherever you are, in time and space. All right. Oh, Earth card. Compassion and focus. Ooh, another card needs to come out. What is it? Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, I did not mean to pick this card up, but it was like, Yeah, we're getting down to the nitty and gritty. Did I say nitty and gritty? Okay. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Here, look at this. Patterns. Look at her eyes. She is lost in those pathologies. So this month, it's getting real. You're going to be, yeah, and the card that it skipped over was the knowledge card. This month, April. Oh my God, look at the card. It's basically sandwiched between these two cards. Truth and knowledge. Bam! Your pathologies. And the next card is secrets, shadow energy. So all of this, with this vitality, this sun card is just saying all of this is coming to the front. You're gonna know. In the month of April, you are gonna know. But on top of knowing, you're going to feel. This is the month to feel. Now I see earth, compassion, focus. And the last card that, when they said draw one more, is nurture. Nurture yourself, right? This is exactly the message coming through. You've got to have self-care, because and compassion, right? Because right here, as you are on this earth, this is going to be a time to really feel into what's going on with you. And notice I keep saying feelings. So if you can manage to self-nurture, self-regulate, have compassion for yourself, co-regulate with someone if you can, I feel that you will be better able to process these energies that are coming up. Look at her. She wants to draw back her bow and strike someone with it, but she just doesn't have the energy. She's like, no, never mind. Yeah, you're going to get into a never mind state, because it's not going to be worth it to blame anymore. Now's the time to just stop and look at what's going on inside of you. Let me just look at it. That's it. So this is a great way to really avoid any projections that are coming up, to stop projecting onto other people. The blaming, the not owning up to stuff, the dissociation, all of that stuff. Once you just agree with yourself to just sit and actually just feel the pain instead of numbing out, with a good support system, of course, I think, ding, things will be just perfect, okay? All right, so if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, or if you'd like to have an energy healing session with me, the last one would be live via Zoom. Please do reach out to my Etsy page, and you know where to find me. Yay! Until then, much love, many blessings, and hang in there. Bye.